$1.99.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 113. Welcome to the YouTube live show. You did it. You made it. You're here. We want to see you again, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just hit subscribe. Ring that bell to get notified when we go live and post new content. Please feel free to use that super chat button, and we will read your comment live on the show. My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am one of your 4 hosts today. And of course, with us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, he's mastering the fine arts of tabletop mini making. It's Johnny Warhammer himself, John Rodriguez. How are you, man?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Oh, dude, I like it. I've been getting all your little update. Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. It's like every single one you paint, the you're getting better. Like
You get better progressively. That
You
you
can-
just got
but
to
you can tell.
practice.
Like if what you should do is find out the first day that you did one, like the most like recently, not like way back when, but when you started this whole thing, and then do like a 30, 60, 90, like a what do they call those? Like, where you put like the 4 pictures on like on Instagram, but like a mosaic
Blow
kind of
up?
thing.
Like a
No. Like a
Like
split screen,
Or
like
a layout. Oh, okay.
to do like
Oh,
the
and just
first
show
one.
the progression.
Yeah, so do like the first one, the 30 day, the 60 day, the 90 day.
You know
And
what's funny
just-
though? I think I threw a few away because I'm like never using those. Bam.
But you took a photo
know,
of it, right?
I have a couple. There's probably photos somewhere. I do have an early one. This is a pretty early one right here.
Yeah, it looks like crap.
I know. It's actually really good for being crap.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm kidding.
Because I got some good little details on this one, but the paint's too thick, and I didn't water it down. And
You,
stuff,
you remember when we had like John Gallagher on the show and we were talking about that, like he saved all of his like drawings from like high school, like when he was a kid, and it just kind of like progressed, and then his daughter found those and then was like, Dad, you need to like display these are awesome.
Publish
And,
these, yeah.
and he was like, no, we'll shred those or whatever.
Yeah, that's my attitude with that.
Yeah. No, man.
But
yeah, you gotta document it. Yeah, right on, dude. You doing good?
yeah,
Good.
not bad.
Next up, the commanding officer of the 501st Legion's Southern California Garrison and part-time rocket scientist. I'm not kidding when I say that. It's Rami Shanaday. How are you, man?
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, I can at least say, when somebody's like, well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, I can be like, well, actually. So,
Well, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, have you ever built a rocket?
I have. So I used to like to play, those like Estes model rockets that like you could go and buy at like
Yeah.
the hobby store, and you get like the little different engines in it that you could
Mm.
light with the little 9-volt battery thing, and like you'd get them all set up, and then you'd go to like the high school basketball court and you could set it up and like launch it, and it would go up, and like different ones depending on the size of the engine would go up, and then it would get up to the top, and like there'd be like an extra little charge inside, and then it would go it would do a little pop in the opposite direction, and it would pop a parachute out, and then that would bring it back down. And like half the time that wouldn't work, and it would turn around and it would come back down, and it would like embed itself in the basketball court, and you'd be like, oh crap. But yeah, I used to do that. Those were cool. In fact, fun fact, on the Zorg ZF1,
Yeah.
on the real one, on the film that they used for the film, when they made that prop, the missile, the yellow rocket that looks like a missile on the front of that is actually a real Estes model rocket that they painted up to look like a missile, and it was part of that. You can still buy that today.
It's
on
the rocket.
It's still a model rocket. It's $22 on Amazon. You can buy it today.
I was just gonna say, you mean the rocket that's in your Amazon cart already, right?
It is actually, but
The
I
one
didn't
that's-
okay. So listen,
The one that's out for delivery.
I had
Canon.
I had already printed the one that's on mine by the time I learned this. So I mentioned it. Adam Savage has like some amazing build videos on the one he did, and he's the one I heard that from. And he dropped the name of the model of the Estes rocket that it is. And then I'm like, oh, I searched for it, and sure enough, and you look at like they shortened it a little bit, like they cut it and like shortened it and stuff, but it sure enough, it's the same details on it. You can tell.
So you guys were ragging on me in our chat last week about the flamethrowers, and like, you know, that in the movie that thing has a real flamethrower. So I do have the Boring company's flamethrower, right? And I use it for like
Lawn care,
right?
Yeah.
No, I use it for cooking. So primarily I use it for like what do you call it? Like charring,
barbecuing.
or yeah,
Searing.
Yeah,
searing the meat
Nice.
and stuff.
as one does. We need a video. Why is this
Yeah,
not?
Yeah,
do you
on
have a
Mixer, it
video?
didn't happen.
Oh, I think I
Is
do.
it set
Yeah.
up already?
I usually put it in my stories, but I've never posted it. But should I? Yeah, I
Drop
probably
it.
could.
I
Drop it
mean,
in the channel. A special
I'd
feature
love
for
to
the
see it.
channel.
Yes.
But the internals of that thing, it's just a weed burner that you can get at like Harbor Freight. Like for $10.
I
So when I took it apart, what I found out is that you can just, all you need is the nozzle and a hose that goes to a gas line. That's all you need, and then like a regulator. But yeah, we could totally fit one in your blaster, Ramy.
All right,
Make
talk
it
about
make
it.
it work.
we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Melt it.
No. Actually, the tip stays pretty cool. Because
Because it spits the liquid out, and then
it's
the
it's
spark
spitting
is
out.
later.
Yeah.
On the one that they used in the film, the nozzle for the flamethrower actually is the nozzle for like a butane torch that you can like if you search for like butane torch on like Amazon or eBay or whatever, like even though like, you can buy it at Harbor Freight, like that nozzle is used on like a dozen different brands of butane torches. It's very common.
Either way, dude, we're gonna make that thing shoot real rockets.
We're gonna make a real one?
Real fire. Yeah. It's gonna shoot a real net. I don't know how, but we're gonna make it shoot a net.
So Adam Savage did make a working that had every one of the functions, but it's ridiculously huge. Like it's huge. Like but it does all of those things. It has every function in it, but it's
We're gonna do it.
Not as small as the one from the film.
I'm telling you, we're gonna do it. All right. And also with us today, you know him as the Left Coast Avenger. We know him as Dadpool. It's Luke Yates. Hey, buddy, how are you?
We've heard from the rocket scientist, the flamethrower scientist, and I hate to disappoint because I'm like half Ninja Turtle. I'm like, I made a pizza and put gummy worms on it with my kids.
Yeah, I was talking.
Did that. We actually did that.
I was talking to a coworker about that
Sounds good.
and about Ninja Turtles, and I was like, yeah, when I was a kid, I was Michelangelo. When I was a teenager, I was Donatello, but now that I'm a grown up, I'm totally a Raphael.
Rude Raph.
And then he was
cool but rude.
and then he was just looking at me and he was like, word, man, Raphael.
Like, I get it.
It's amazing
dude.
how people get that from our generations and surrounding our gens for sure. I think I've always been a Michelangelo though. I don't know.
Always?
I'd like to think I'm a Raph, but I do probably at heart more of a Michelangelo.
Yeah. Skateboarding, pizza,
Yeah.
nunchucks.
I'm a
Yeah.
fellow Chuckster.
I think I am also Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Really?
you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ramy's like
Ramy's Leo.
Ramy's Splinter for sure.
Oh
no,
yeah.
no, Ramy's a Donnie. He's Donatello.
That's
Mm,
If we're
Yeah.
turtles, he's Donatello.
yeah.
totally. Yeah.
Oh, that
No, you
doesn't-
know what?
Joe's
Joe's
Leo.
Splinter. No,
Oh,
Joe's
No, Joe's
Wait, so
Leo.
that leaves Brian as
Jo-
Leo.
No, Brian is the Rat King.
Yeah, he's the
just because he likes candy corn and peanuts, man.
he's
know
Baxter
what?
Stockman. He's just a fly.
If anyone's gonna be Splinter, the Master Splinter, it's got to be.
We've got company. You want to sit with us? That's never happened before.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Marauder. It's been a while. It's been a minute. Hondo Supply himself, Mike Forrester. How are you, buddy?
What in the New York slice is going on in this conversation right here? Pizza
Were you
Dude's got
backstage?
30 seconds. Yeah, I was just watching.
Yeah.
It's a good
well,
show. It's a good
you're-
show, guys. You know, I'm on now, but it was a good show. I really like. I'm like, we're getting butane tips and barbecue. We're deliberating over searing. I was like, you get everything with this show, and that's why I think people really like it.
Mike, have you sous vide meat before?
I've enjoyed it, but I've never done it myself.
So I found out that a local popular steakhouse that I go to,
Okay.
they sous vide all their meat. Like that's their prep during the day.
Okay.
Is they bring all the steaks to like I think like 130, 132, and they just have it waiting. And then so when you order your steak, if you
They
order
finish
like
it off.
rare, medium rare, whatever, they just sear it.
It's pre-broken down.
It's already done.
It's ready
Yeah.
to go. Do you
I was like-
find you enjoy it more that way?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Dude,
Cool.
You got a sous vide. Do you have a
No.
sous vide? You don't have a sous vide.
Sous vide.
No.
I'm gonna get you a sous vide.
Is that would be my Christmas present
Send
after
them
we're
the
done with this.
flamethrower, dude.
I will
That's
get you a
nice.
sous vide. Yeah.
That's nice.
It's
I
a
think that's
combo
called
because
a.
you got to sear it after.
Is that called a Pittsburgh sear, where they just black the outside of it and then it's just rare on the inside? I think that's a term I learned.
Is that like a Jersey Turnpike?
I think that's a shot.
Oh.
It's like a sweaty Brooklyn.
It's like
Oh.
We're still
Uh,
talking meats, right?
I don't know.
I just
I don't know
made
what's
it.
going on. This sounds like a bunch of dads talking about. Oh,
Yeah.
back in my day, used to do a thing called a prairie
We
fire.
went from
which was, you know,
flamethrowers to sous vide. Somewhere this took a turn.
yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you guys, because this is the Dad Batch podcast, and welcome, Mike. But fellow dad, I got duped into hosting Thanksgiving this year,
Mm, mhm.
and not only hosting but prepping like all the meal and all that stuff. Which
Ooh.
I'm normally a very good cook, and
You feel
ever since-
intimidated?
No, it's not intimidated. It's like I always like to have like
Sit back.
a unique spin on our
Sure.
Thanksgiving meals,
Right.
because
right.
everybody always does, the classic turkey and stuffing and the classic. But in my family, my dad always had the tradition of doing like Thanksgivings from like around the world. So we like one year we had a French one, and then we had like a Japanese one, and You're just always like-
word.
but this year, because I'm hosting all the in-laws and the in-laws, I'm like, okay, I gotta
what's
make-
the count.
I got to make this. I don't even know yet.
Is it a Latino Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are just gonna show up. Like, so I have an 18-pound turkey, and it's a butterball frozen in the freezer.
That sounds natural. All natural,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
That sounds free range
Grass-fed.
to me. Absolutely.
I didn't want to do the fried turkey. I didn't want to do, because I don't want to burn my house down. I
Right.
don't want to do the roast turkey and have it come out dry.
Sure.
After much research, I've decided to do smoked.
Okay.
Ooh.
So like a 12-hour smoked turkey.
What time is
Ooh.
Thanksgiving at?
Mm,
I'm just gonna hop on Google Flights real quick.
like 4?
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. All right, so if I show
I'll
up at
give you a
2,
ride.
it's
Come to
not-
my house, Mike.
We'll be there
That's
at
good.
4.
Oh yeah,
That's
you
good.
guys are
loud and clear.
you're all
Come to my
invited for
house.
sure.
Awesome.
We'll all roll over with Raymond.
That's we'll walk
Um,
in. I
But
like
here's my
that.
question, because I've never smoked before
Okay,
a turkey. I've never smoked meats before.
sure.
I have
Brian smokes meats.
Brian smokes glizzies.
Meats.
Oh. But
I have a glizzy, Greg. Can you smoke me?
what have any of you guys smoked a meat before?
Yes.
I have in a
No.
charcoal grill,
Yes.
Like-
Steven.
like with a
You-
smoker.
Accidentally.
Raimi, have you
Basically.
done like the long hours, like 10-hour, 8-hour?
Yeah.
Okay, so
You come in like spray it down.
what do I do, Raimi? I'm lost.
So okay, so when I was using the smoker, so it was a wood chip smoker. We would start it early in the day, and we would just keep it going. Put a thermometer in it. You got to
Just
kind
have
of
beers and hang out all day.
know what temperature you're going for. I would put the wood chips in, and I would kind of do like a blend of a couple different kinds of wood chips, and I would put beer in the there was like a moisture or like a liquid tray, and
Yellow
you
beer.
got to. I would put beer in the
Hella
tray.
beer.
Just let that be the
Modelo.
liquid instead of water.
Do Modelo.
So
Yeah.
wait,
I
when
agree
you
with
say
I agree with
that.
Mike's
I like that, Mike.
suggestion. Yep.
wait, does that evaporate? Is the
Yeah.
water in the water tray evaporating?
That becomes
Keeps it
like
moist,
steam.
right?
Yeah, it keeps it moist. Yeah, that becomes steam
Ah.
around it as it's smoking it.
And you can also, if you Google beer can chicken,
I've heard
There's
that
That
term.
that is a
There's a
thing too. Yeah,
whole-
you can
there's a
put the
whole
beer can
process.
inside the chicken and have it in
and
there
it
when you do it.
evaporates and it turns your chicken into
Alright.
a
This is
very
a whole
moist
new
bird.
dad level merit badge that you're
I
gonna.
was gonna say this is
Yeah.
riveting podcast.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the Dad Batch Meets.
You never know what you're
podcast.
gonna get on this podcast. It's like, you
Oh
know,
my gosh, it's good. It's
Last
real
week
good.
was model making, and this week is smoked meats.
smoked meats. That's good.
Per
That's good.
usual.
I saw that you we fully dedicated to this this graphic that I made up today.
Oh
Mhm.
on
yeah.
the thumbnail.
Yeah.
This is great.
Oh yeah.
This is very exciting.
Uh,
Where is Brian tonight? Where is he?
Tennessee, Alabama.
He's in Tennessee
He's on
somewhere.
the road, man.
He's on a farm. He's on a farm.
He's hanging out with horses. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He keeps sending us photos of horses every couple minutes.
Got it. Can't get a
Not
deal
a
on
joke.
a
Horses.
horse. It's
Couple
nice.
goats too.
Yeah,
And a
goats.
cat. I saw.
There was a cat. There was a cat. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. We're just
Working,
just
not working. We're not sure.
preparing to homestead.
There
I
it
like
is.
that. Great. Well, it seems like we should get into this because I've got about
Steven.
Yeah. What are you
I've
here
got
for,
about
Mike?
15 unanswered Instagram messages that I'm
Spit it
gonna
out.
send all over to Ramey.
Nice.
I'm sending them all over to him. I think everyone knows at this point that the Ornament Project was destined to come back. So let's go all the way back. Let's go all the way back, right? As I commandeer this podcast here. 3 years ago, there was kind of one of these things where you realize we're friends with a lot of very talented people, and when everybody is talented, you kind of forget how talented everybody is, right? And I've always been impressed by, of course, everyone in this pod. If you're watching, look at all these beautiful faces over on the right hand side or left hand side, about how many creative makers exist in the costuming space for Star Wars, but also the fact that we can apply those same principles to doing props, right? So the idea of, I think for all of us as costumers, we have those times where we go, we're sitting on thousands of dollars worth of costumes and putting our talents into supporting a cause that would make an impact, right? And for all of us as crafters and creators, that's part of what it is that we do. It's always about saying, if we're going to put on a Star Wars costume, it's about generally the best troops we have are when we help people forget where they are for a little bit and just be in this world that we love, right? It's always been about going to children's hospitals and giving those kids a little bit of relief, right? The world has been a brutal place for the last however many years you want to look at it. As we get older, when we raise kids and we realize that the world doesn't really care about them as much as we love them, and for us to be able to let them see us as people, as dads, as parents, that you do not have to lose your sense of identity once you got to go to work every day and once you become an adult, right? I think that's the part that's been so cool for everybody in this community, especially for me. And so the Ornament Project came up as a way to just harness that good from a community that already consistently gives back to other people in terms of how we spread our love of Star Wars, being able to put it into purpose. And so then from there, I think then Chrome Tono kind of kicks off that after there. And I think that was the year after. I think we ended up kind of doing, we had both happen simultaneously, or what was Chrome Tono came out in 2023, or what was that? Do we remember?
Hmm.
22.
22.
Wait, so we didn't do it last year, and you did
We
it.
did. We did last year.
We did it.
No, we didn't do it
We didn't do it
in
last
23.
year.
We did it in
Right.
22, and then you had done it in 21.
Yes, exactly.
So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Welcome to the Dead Batch podcast.
Yeah.
back in my day, I remember when these things were happening. So what was really cool about it is that between Honda Supply at the time when I was like selling and making stuff, and then you guys, like we had these two really incredible opportunities for fundraisers to get people motivated to say, I'm getting a unique piece of art. I'm getting an incredible prize. I'm getting, especially if they're Chrome Tono, it's like, my God, you're winning thousands of dollars worth of stuff, and all of it's going for a great cause. And so Ramey texted me earlier a couple weeks ago and was like, what's up with Ornament Project? And I think for a lot of people, we realize that as these projects get bigger and bigger, they become harder and harder to tackle in the way that you want to do it. But I was like, you know what? I've had some life changes this year. And specifically, this is one of those projects where we go, this is worth doing. I don't think anyone has ever said that these projects are not worth doing, but they just take a process to keep them where we want to see them, right?
Totally.
And so we had come up with this really great idea to, as we kind of move forward, and I know that we have a lot of people who are watching both Thank the Maker, Honda Supply, all of you guys as individual customers, 501st Legion, Dad Batch, all of these. I think a lot of people have come to really appreciate the uniqueness of these two fundraisers in specificity. But now we're going to do Ornament Project is going to be 1 year. Chrome Tono is going to be the year after. And then we're just going to alternate.
Yep.
Make it so that people can feel like if they want to be a part of something, they don't have to sit here and go, oh man, Dad Batch is doing the Chrome Tono. Hondo and Thank the Maker are doing an Ornament Project. Like, what do I give to? I think for us, it's always been about going, where can we tap into the community where they want to feel like they want to get involved? And it just makes sense this way. So we're going to do Ornament Project this year. Next year, we're doing Chrome Tono. All ships firing at the same target. Let's do the damn thing.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
that.
So I think what's interesting about this year, so if you have followed along, well, first of all, have people seen, I think there's a lot of people who are familiar with the project, but like there's more reason of why I actually still have these. And I will tell this story, but like these are, this one specifically is from Island Fete.
Ooh.
Like this Rax 501st. It's so good.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
It's
It's a piece. It's a piece of art.
Yeah.
100%. Each
Have
one
it
is
forever.
designed. Yeah. And each one of these is designed as, I think I have a couple raw ones somewhere, but they start off as these raw pieces of acrylic. And
Island Fair.
Island Fair.
yeah, and when you see what these turn into, it truly is mind blowing at how awesome these are. This one's from Jackson Rupert. I think we all know his
Oh
work.
yeah.
So this
Wow.
is
So cool.
a charred.
Is that Vader's helmet? Oh man.
That is
Isn't that
so
cool?
dope.
So he
Look at
fully glossed this, and this is just an incredible piece right here. So every single one of these is completely unique in their approach to what the artist wants to do. And it just allows for, I think, people to kind of, and what's fun about it is the blanks come in 5 different, I don't know, what do we call them? Factions, groups, whatever. So we've got Rebellion, Jedi, Empire, Republic, and what's the other one I'm missing? Oh, Mandalorians.
Mandalorian. Yeah.
And so the artists don't know what they're going to get. I just send them one. Unless there's a very specific idea of like, I'm going to do this, then they don't know what they're going to get. So like, here's another example right here. So like John Flake, who's JPF Props is in the chat.
What up?
This is his. In the back, you just go to see the creativity that people
What
put
the
in.
heck? Is that a
Okay.
Kyber crystal?
That's a kyber
Yeah.
crystal in here,
Damn.
and then look at how crispy. Boys, look at this.
Wow.
That's so good.
My God. So this is kind of
Good
that.
lord.
John, what's the official term of that? Like heat
Is
diffusion
it
or
the heat bloom?
yeah,
It's like a
yeah,
heat
yeah.
stain.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see it. I got this red light on here, but like you can see he's got that blue and that purple. Oh my God,
So
John
good.
crushed this.
He crushed it.
It's so good. So like this,
Fudge.
what makes all of these is, you know, you're talking the artists on here are John, you're among this, right? As a commissioner and a lot of people who are high end painters, you know, this is the amount of work that goes into these, and you've all done one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hundreds of dollars worth of work going into
Totally.
these for people to be able to go, bought this sits on my if you you want to put it on your shelf for the rest of the year besides around the holidays, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's like you're getting an amazing, incredible one-off piece of artwork in the vein of Star Wars by an artist that you've probably come to really appreciate. And that's what I think is really cool about it. Then you have some of these other oddball things. Luke, I don't need to tell you about oddball things because yours was absolutely incredible the last time.
Thank you, brother.
Get a look at this, though, from John Ficker, Lone Wolf,
Oh, look at
Wow.
that.
right?
It's the cantina.
The entrance to Oga's Cantina with, wait
It's
for
like a
it.
coaster.
Oh, look at
man.
that.
No way.
How sick is that, right?
That's
so
the what would
the
you call
ceiling.
it? Like
yeah,
Top of the
ceiling,
carbon
yeah.
freeze
Yeah.
chamber.
yeah. The carbon.
That's what hangs over the bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So like, this is just unbelievably cool at how he
Oh,
did this
man.
with the entrance right there. So the cantina one, and then he makes this beautiful leather strap, of course. So it hangs right there, and then depending on which way you're looking at it, I mean, it's awesome. And
So cool.
this is like where I think creativity, passion, and compassion all kind of align, because I know we deliberated a little bit over who is going to be the charity this year. So in history of the past two ones that we've done, the first year we did was Magic Wheelchair,
Mhm.
which is an incredible charity that kind of lets people who are differently abled to be able to kind of experience cosplay. I think we would all probably describe it that, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know, they're making, if a kid's really into, you know, Star Wars, then they're making their wheelchair into a TIE fighter. Or if you have you know, I saw one of them was like, you know, kid's super into Batman, make his thing the Batmobile, you know, the Batwing or the Batmobile, whatever. And so we were really stoked to be able to raise over $10,000 for them in our first year of doing it. Chrome Tono what was the first charity for Chrome Tono?
The first one was National Down Syndrome Society.
Yes.
Mm, mhm.
What did you guys, do you remember the amount of money that you raised for that?
It was about $16,000.
Now, this is
Year one. Year one.
I mean, this is real money that is
Wild.
making an impact in it. And this is all because people are stoked on Star Wars and people are creative enough to dedicate their talent to doing so. So I love this. Then we do Ornament Project, the second one, and that goes to Mission 22, which is a really great proactive nonprofit that focuses on mental health and getting people who are coming back from overseas, from service, getting them better ingrained into coming back into society after some of them have suffered from, you know, TBIs, PTSD, and we were able to raise over, I think the total after some stuff happened was about, I think just under 20,000, just a little over or under $20,000.
Man, oh,
So,
man.
I mean, this is real money here. And unfortunately, we had someone who kind of ran up the bill on some of these ornaments here, and they didn't pay. And so that person has been outright banned from being able to participate. But what is good for us on the positive is that these really great ornaments and a couple more are still back in play for us to go even bigger
Ooh, second chance.
this year. That's
Nice.
right.
Second chance.
That's
Nice.
right. So we're stoked on that. And I think after some deliberation, all of us in here, of course, very, very proud 501st Legion members, 501st over the last 2 years, has kind of dedicated their efforts to the Starlight Foundation, which is this really, really, really great organization. The most important thing I think for all of us, we talked about this in the chat, was charities that weren't just businesses at this point, right? Like we're talking like charities that actually do put their money where their mouth is, right? And the Starlight Foundation has a I think it's is it platinum or whatever the highest charity rating is, which is hard to come by. You have to have a lot of checks and balances. You have to be reviewed. But the Starlight Foundation is this awesome charity that basically teams up to make children's hospital visits, if they're there for extended amount of time, makes their experience better, whether that's by providing them with like toys or experiences or something like that. It's a really great charity. And I think all of us as 501st members, this is what we're talking about, right? This is being able to take people who are incredibly vulnerable and give them some relief, not only in where we can't help with the physical part of it, taking their brain, putting it in a galaxy far away, for them to just be able to say, let's have fun, right? And that's what it's all about. So we are incredibly stoked to say that we are going alongside the 501st this year to be able to benefit the Starlight Children's Foundation for the Ornament Project. I couldn't think of a cooler charity that does so much good work. And we're thrilled to, I think, team up with the 501st in this regard of throwing all green lasers at one shield generator. We're going to blow this thing apart. So I'm incredibly humbled at the amount of support and interest of just bringing this back. This little post of ours has kind of blown up, and I'm stoked to be doing it with you guys and Thank the Maker to kind of magnify and amplify not only the talent of what's become a part of this project and what people have come to expect, but also just the fact that, we're doing that people are not only supporting artists in all of this, right, but they're supporting a great cause that makes them feel like they're part of it too. And I think that's something that we all come back to saying, when we're trying to make the world a better place through Star Wars. This is an example yet again of how I still feel, despite whatever you hear online, Star Wars fans are the most charitable people with their time and their talent. And I'm incredibly honored to be a part of that along with you bros. So let's do the damn thing.
Let's do this, man. We are honored as well to be a part of this. Thank you for thinking of us to assist. And man, I think that we need to how many are we planning on auctioning off this year?
It's a decent number, isn't it, Mike?
We got a chunk, that's for sure. So we're kind of in a process. To pull back the curtain a little bit, the cost of the cost of shipping, especially I swear the post office, like the holiday window it might as well start in July at this point. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so you're talking like, to get something at a decent amount of time, you have to pay at least $10 to $15 to ship anything now, especially if you need to protect it a little bit and it's a bigger package. So we have been incredibly honored to have some of these base ornaments donated to us from some 501st Great Lakes Garrison members. Craig Hobbs, he goes by DZ online, and he's buddies with J Guy Hunter Smoke. So they're going to be cutting some ornaments up for us, and we're going to be getting those out. So if you are interested in making an ornament, you're either going to hear from me or you're going to hear from Ramey. We're encouraging people, as always, if they have the means to resin print. I don't want to say that I'm against FDM printing, but I'm just saying I'm very much like, I look at the standard of what we've kind of come to accept, and I just don't want to get one that's going prints. No offense to anybody who 3D prints, but we're looking for that finish. We're looking for that, we want this thing
High
to be show
fidelity.
ready, 100%, right?
Yeah,
And so I'm not I think for more novice prop makers that are getting into prop making and doing all this, we're totally down to see your work develop, but we're really looking for high-end finished pieces because a lot of the artists that we have in here have worked on shows. They are professional prop makers at this point. We have some pretty big names that we're not going to totally reveal yet, but we've got some really important names.
They're these sorry, and to cut you off, Mike, but
Sure.
these have to be, the end result has to be museum quality,
Yeah.
a piece that would
Collector quality, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, a piece that would fetch upwards of $1,000 or more.
Yeah.
Because there might, and just so you know, there might be a couple of these pieces that have found their home at the mothership of Lucasfilm.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. And what's really cool too is that I think this community yet again is like, I think of how awesome Luke's was last year in terms of like having the action figure and just like, I have photos of it, but I don't have them with me. But like, it's kind of like, I love that the artists are all kind of like being like, hey, what's Luke doing this year? And I'm like, whoa, I'm not saying anything.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
not saying anything.
Back
And they're
up,
like,
everybody. It's
right?
mine. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
Oh
win.
my
Right,
god,
right.
no,
And
no,
just-
no! Oh, that
it-
just scarred me.
And just the fact that like, John Ficker is like, well, I mean, I made August Cantina last year. He's like, I gotta go above and beyond. I'm like, what, are you just gonna make the whole Millennium Falcon? I'm like, I don't know, dude, like, whatever you want. But we do have an expectation and a level that like we want these to be things that people will spend a lot of money on to support a great cause, but also know that they have this one of a kind, completely unique artist creation. And so you'll hear from Raimi, you'll hear from me. It'll be if you want us to actually produce and make a blank for you, it's going to be a small fee just so we can cover shipping and cover costs of that. And then from there, I think based on what I've seen, we are probably going to be upwards of 60 ornaments this year.
Damn.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Now, the part about it that makes it a little bit on the actual auction side of things, right? Because I love an auction, guys. You know what I mean? Like,
I love an auction too.
I love an auction.
Big auction guy.
I like the big auction energy. You know what I mean? So I like that people get a little bit stressed about it because they're sitting here being like, yeah, all right, it's time to get out the big guns. All of a sudden, I'm sitting here going, I'm going to throw $300 on this. And someone shows up and goes, dude, let's start it at 500. You're like, oh, shit. Okay. Sounds good. And I will say this. The whole point is not to sit here and shame people on going, who didn't spend the most amount of money. What I think you're seeing in and I'm using John just because I see him in here. Like John is one of those people who's like, my family tries to do a donation to a cause that we can get behind every single year. And some people, I know over the past couple of years, people have gone, we're tightening up the pocketbooks a little bit, and all of that is fine. But there is obviously incentive, I think, for people who want to give in a way that this is a great opportunity for them to get something in return. We see people be incredibly charitable. I'm looking at people who have just straight up donated, John, like other people who have donated helmets, and like, you get people who are donating an ornament that sits inside of a whole helmet and that's supposed to sit on the shelf. I'm like, this is sick. And you never know what's going to really come out. I mean, Jason Chiodo, New Hope Workshop, our buddy, donated the sickest anodized lightsaber last year. It's one of the grand prizes.
Dude.
It was so sick.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we've come to expect out of this, because people do know that it is kind of one of those, every single one between the Chrome Tono and between the Ornament Project. Once these are gone, they're gone, right? Once someone gets them, they hold on to them, and they say, this is the memory from that year. And I love that. So once again, if you're interested in being an artist, feel free to reach out to me at Honda Supply, reach out to Dad Batch. Ramey will get a hold of you. We'll get you the files so that if you can resin print your own, we can do that, right? And the creativity knows no bounds. We do try to keep them a little bit in some form of structure. Some people just straight up, like Ben Huckabee last year, just like he took the ornament and just turned it into a whole war stick. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
That was
That's what
cool.
it does.
I was
That's
like,
sick.
yeah, right. That's very Ben Huckabee for sure. But I was like, we try to keep some of them, I think for hangability, there's always kind of the artistic challenge of being able to make a really sick ornament that also has some level of like, can you hang it up? Can you put it on there? Right. So I always feel like, at least for artists, we like those, a couple things that make us want to go. We have some parameters to keep us somewhat reeled in.
Keep it in scale. Yeah.
I'm so excited to see, and the scales are all a little different. We've had some, some smaller ones, some bigger ones. We've had some medium-sized ones. So I couldn't be more excited about doing this. It's probably one of my favorite projects I've ever done. And at this point, I don't feel like it's mine anymore. I feel like it's ours. And that's probably the sign of a great thing. That's, you know what I mean? In terms of going, when we want to make something that feels like it's the community's, because the community gets behind it, because the community gets the benefit of being able to say we were a part of it. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. So we're trying to get these back around Thanksgiving-ish. We're going to try to do the auction maybe second week of December if we can. The date is coming. We're just kind of seeing, sometimes people go, give me another couple of days, and then that ends up being something insane like Luke does. So we've got, be a little fluid with us. We're going to be posting. Make sure you're following along with everybody. Everyone's going to hear about it. And from there, the issue that we ran into last time was on Instagram. It was flagging us as spam, as like bot
Oh,
activity,
that's
because so
All
many
the
people
comments.
were
Yeah.
commenting
Right.
at once, right?
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do, and this could change, but we've all kind of been talking about this and seeming like this could be fun, is we could have a YouTube live auction.
Oh wow, that's a good call.
You know what I mean?
Indeed.
So that, because
Oh.
Yeah.
the comments can handle it, and we've got,
Yeah.
I've got Ryloth here who can take some amazing pictures of everything. We'll put it up there. We'll be able to show off all of them and try to do about like a minute for each one, right? Have people just rip off. Then I got people sitting here going, okay, cool. Hey, high bid is this, boom, boom, boom.
I got
And then we
150,
can go through
275, 275,
Well,
275,
Hey,
350.
Hey, so
sold.
I actually might be able to get us somebody that could do that
Oh my god.
if we wanted to. Like
The
I
Micro
legit-
Machine commercial guy. Let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, all right, exactly. So I think that I think we could do that, because I think that just makes sense for us to be able to just kind of have a lot of people who are connected all at once. And I think what we'll do, just because of the amount of ornaments that we have, I think what we'll do is maybe do like a preview night, and then do 2 nights of, show off which ones are going up on each night ahead of time, so that people can know if they're really going for one. They'll say, okay, that's on Monday night. The one that I'm going for is on Sunday night, however we want to do it, right?
Sure.
And so I think that makes a lot of sense. We had talked a little bit about, I think Stevie, you had brought up the eBay auction, right? And for all intents and purpose, it probably is the better option, but I just don't think it's as fun. Yeah, come on. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's as fun.
What if, okay, hear me out. I don't want to talk logistics on here, but hear me out. What if we have it set up so that all the auctions end during the live stream?
It's entirely possible.
And then I can have it so that each auction's ending a minute 30 seconds after each other.
Yeah, sure. And then the only way that you can lose is if you get outbid in the comments. Just be a straight up shootout. This sounds like a logistical nightmare, and I'm horribly intrigued. I will say that for sure.
Just to answer Nate's question in the chat, he's saying eBay takes their cut. eBay has a charity channel that if 100% of the proceeds are going to charity, it actually is free all the way through. So that wouldn't be the case for these, but still. Yeah. I actually like the idea of just doing the chat on YouTube. I think that would
agree.
actually be pretty fun. I
agree.
like that. That's my vote.
I agree. Yeah. So
For the grand prize, we can also offer a live rendition of "We Are the World" by everybody on the live
Oh.
stream.
Okay,
what I
so
mean?
on that front, so
We
maybe
are
Mike, we
the
can dovetail this a
Yes.
little bit because
Sure.
at around the same time frame, and it's kind of all the same people, yourself and the Dad Batch included.
Yeah.
We've got the on the weekend of the first full weekend on December 7th and 8th,
Mm.
the 501st Legion is doing their annual holiday telethon.
Ah, right.
And you and I have a little something to do with that, as well
Absolutely.
as the Dad Batch. So
Absolutely.
we've got a lot of planning going on for that. We've got some big names that we've already confirmed. I had a lovely text conversation with somebody about that is going to come on and talk some deep Star Wars lore with us. It's
Oh, I
going to be a
love
very
that.
good conversation.
I love that.
So we've got some fun stuff lined up. We're right now we're reaching out and getting guests lined up as both from the Star Wars like celebrity community as well as kind of the fan and club community.
Maker,
So
yeah.
that's going to be again on December 7th and 8th, and that also benefits the Starlight Foundation.
Right.
So I think that's going to be we're going to have an opportunity to maybe talk about this a little bit during that weekend. I think because it's all for Starlight, there will be an
Yep.
opportunity there, and it might make sense for us to time the ending of this for after that. So
Yeah.
that makes sense with what you said earlier, kind of like the second week of December kind of thing.
Right.
So that would be perfect,
Yeah.
and the hype will be big.
I love that. Well, I mean, from your perspective, I mean, you guys you've all made ornaments. What is kind of the funnest part for you when you get that package in the mail and you're like, it's almost like, I mean, it's a blank canvas. I'm sure it's got like a specific, a group within Star Wars has got a specific identity, but like, I'm curious, when you get that thing, you're like,
The
where do I
first time
start?
the first time that I did the ornament, I was very nervous when I opened the package. I was like,
Yeah.
I panicked a little bit because I was like,
I
"Oh my
broke
God."
mine.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
Yeah.
I was like,
then
send
you
me
were-
another one quick.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, I was a little like I was nervous because I was like, crap,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
like this needs to raise money. Thousands of eyes are gonna see this. Not
Yeah.
this time. This time, my creative juices have been marinating since the last ornament.
That's right.
Yes,
Mm.
sir.
With
Uh,
a little beer over
just-
some cedar steak right
Oh,
there.
man.
Oh, absolutely.
Y'all just wait.
Yeah, I'll just wait.
What about you, Luke? I mean, you're always going a little extra, which we love and appreciate.
Yeah. I liked the surprise of not knowing what sect ornament I was going to get.
Sure.
And last year was totally a challenge for me when I opened it up and it was the New Republic
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah.
My wheelhouse totally would normally be, or comfort zone totally normally be Imperial or
Sure.
Denizen of some sort. So that
Yeah.
really made me have to kind of buckle down and think about it. So yeah, the surprise of it,
Yeah, that
the
one's-
wait, the surprise. Yeah.
Well, I'd say it worked out. You know what I mean? I mean, I got yours and I was like, Jesus, I was like, look at this. Like this is off the charts. And for people who don't know, Luke made his own custom action figure with a full card back. That was probably like, what would you say that scale of that card back was? Probably like 200% or something.
Yeah, it was about 20%.
Yeah.
The idea was to replicate the vintage Power of the Force Kenner line,
Yeah.
which came with like a silver coin
Yeah.
back in like 1983, 84. So yeah, that started it, and I didn't want to scale down the ornament because I
Sure.
wanted it to be in scale with everybody else's, but
Yeah.
I also knew that would turn it into more of like a shelf piece rather than a total ornament. So
But you can still
Um,
you can hang anything if you're brave enough.
if you want to take it out of package, you go right ahead and hang that bad boy. It's got a
That's-
hanger on it.
All you got to do is tag us with it. And then John, you
Yes.
ended up you did a collab because you painted 2, I think, if I remember right. You did 2 and then did 1.
Yeah.
Because you were in the thick of doing the Mando heavy helmets in
Right.
that when you were doing that, right? And then we ended up doing because I could have swore you did.
You're like,
2,
let's
right?
slide that right in there. I know you're busy, but here's this extra thing that
Well, I was like, you already got the paint out. Like, you
it's
got
the same
deep
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, you got deep sea going on. I was like, dude, just paint this too.
Yeah.
But that was really sick. And then your process for kind of getting that, like, did you have any? Of course, I always target you when I talk about paint, but like, did you have any issues with the acrylic or adhesion or your prep process for doing
Um,
it?
No, not that I remember. I don't remember having any issues
Yeah.
like that stick out. I was more nervous, like Steven was saying about like things breaking, especially for the collab one, because that
Yeah.
was like this is going to someone that needs to be able to like sign the back,
Yeah.
and I was like, if I screw this up, then what's gonna happen, because I already messed one up in the past.
Yeah.
But no, I mean they're super easy to work with. The thing is, you gotta be gentle, and they're not super delicate, but they are delicate.
Yeah.
Like, you don't drop them,
Don't
just be
drop
careful.
that
Sit down
shit.
on a table. Yeah.
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 That was
But
sad.
yeah.
And then I thought what was cool about yours is that for people who are listening for the first time, John was in a paint run for doing how many helmets did you end up doing?
I don't remember the number now. It's like 55 plus.
55 plus helmets of Paz Vizsla, the heavy Mando, the big
Mm.
blue guy in Mando, and we got the stunt actor, the physical actor Tate Fletcher, who you'd also recognize him at the very beginning of Mando season 1 as the bald guy who gets just absolutely wasted by Mando, and he signed it because he's like, tell me about this project, man. What's going on with it? And we're like, dude, you want to sign it? Have John's going to do this paint job. He's been doing it. And he was like, I'm all in, get it over to me. So we got to send it down to New Mexico after you've painted it, put the little piece
Is that
on.
where he was?
Yeah. It was a
Wow.
process, but like, what's really cool about this one, I guess we can let out a little bit so far. There is a certain member of the Ghost crew that is contributing a signed Black Series of her character, which we're working on. So there will be a corresponding ornament that goes along with this, what we're calling super packages, right? We're calling the super version, super ornament. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of super ornaments this year based on the amount of, chin scratching I'm seeing already coming out of Luke, especially. So it's I think for a lot of people, when they see the talent, they see the names that we get involved with it. I think this is why this is such a special thing for us to do, because there truly is no, I think from our perspective, there is really nothing that I have seen that ties in creativity, Star Wars.
There's
and
nothing
also-
like this.
right.
There's nothing like this. Because I mean, we've some of us have participated in like the helmet projects in the
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
but those typically don't go up for auction that just anybody can take home.
Right.
This is something that anybody can win, anybody can donate and bid on, and take a piece of Star Wars history at this point with them.
Yeah.
What is I'm curious, what's the deadline for people to submit their interest in being an artist, a designer?
Yeah, so I'm saying as of the time of this podcast, I would say if you're, and I'll post this on my story, and I'll make sure to tag everyone so that we can kind of get the mass amplification. But we've really got to know, we've got to start locking in artists besides the artists that are already on our list. And I had a bunch of ornaments actually go out today, so they're en route all over the country, and one to Hawaii, of course. But we have a massive amount of artists that have already been locked in. And for people who are kind of curious as to like what that means, it's just people that we know personally, that we know do a great job, and just people who have already either participated, and we're always just looking to, when we're getting this thing going, you're kind of just going, let me just get our feet from under us, lock in a couple people, and then from there, once we have the capacity to be able to do it, because each of these gets individually shipped, we got to square away the payment. We got to make sure, especially after we got burned a little bit one year from someone who was, basically kind of kicked me around for 3 weeks after the thing, and ended up kind of welching on it. We have to just make sure that we're doing it in a proper process to make sure that the foundation's getting what we promised them and all of that. So we'll have a couple contingencies in place to make sure that, like, if you are bidding, we have to have you locked in to be able to pay for the ornament within the next day. And if not, it goes to a second runner up. I think we should probably do that just to make sure that people are
we should
a little
we should
backup.
we should talk about the payment a little bit. Now the donation going to Starlight, if I'm not mistaken, Raimi, the logistics on that is that the payment goes directly to Starlight, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I think in this case you'd make the donation straight to Starlight, and you just have to show Mike the receipt.
Yeah.
Which is a tax deduction.
Yep.
For
For you.
whoever
For you.
whoever does
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
right.
And then I think what we'll do too is just probably do like, generally what I think happens to, I'm always happy to kick in a lot of money to be able to make sure that we put this thing on. There have been some people who have said, I want to support the project. To kind of keep it running logistically, obviously the cost of I think for everyone who understands, who's ever shipped stuff, the cost of bubble wrap and packaging and tape and making sure that we're protecting the ornaments and all that, like all of that adds up. And so there's some people who are saying, how do I support it if I don't have $800 to spend on this ornament, how can I still support the project? And if that means giving $40-50 just to keep, cover shipping costs or pay for someone's shipping or all that, like that all adds up, and that's all incredibly valuable to us as well. There isn't anything that's really there's nothing that's going into our pockets. If anything, it's just keeping, as they say, the show on the road, because this, every time you up the amount of participation, it just means that we've got, more costs that are going into it. And so, before we're, sitting here in a full blown 501c3, we're kind of doing this all by a little bit of, X-Wing grease and a couple of blue milks. So we're making it happen. But if feel free to reach out, we're always making it happen. And again, artistry comes first, support comes second. And then the overall mission is just to make sure that the charity understands that the people who made this are passionate Star Wars fans who are down to help and share their talents and be part of the best community out there in the fandom. That's really what
That's
it is.
amazing.
So,
That's amazing, man. We should also let the listeners know that if you are at all interested in becoming one of the participating artists for these, you need to let Mike and or Raimi know right away. Because as Mike said earlier, there are upwards of possibly 60 ornaments.
Mhm.
However, if it's anything like last year, there are more willing artists than there are ornaments.
Yeah.
So if you want to get on that list, you got to do it quickly, because like Mike said, they're not all available any longer.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, we got to lock them in. So, I think for people who want to participate, let us know by the end of the week, this week. We'll put this up and kind of say, by Friday, we've got your info, for the probably small costs of probably under, about $10-12, so that we can get an acrylic ornament to you, or if you need the files, to resin print one yourself. I'm sure there's someone out there who, if you have a resin printer, Jason from Wampa's Workshop is always super generous with being able to help people print stuff. So just we can figure out a solution, but we're kind of looking at firming this thing up so that we can kind of say, okay, you know what, after Chrome Tono, we're going to do it even bigger, see what happens at this point. But we're really just trying to make sure that we've got a system locked in so that we can focus on it. And truly, the shipping, we have to get it back here because we are so in debt to Ryloth Photo for taking photos of these things. And at this point, we should probably just make a book of all of these, like a coffee table book, because he photographs these and they look so good because the artwork is so good. And if you follow Ryloth Photo on Instagram, you can see all of this stuff that he's taken. And that's probably the coolest part of it, is like seeing your work photographed, locked in forever. And then from there, we package it up and get it out to whoever supports the project. So, that's what that's for. That's why we kind of have to get going on this. And I know that the turnaround is quick, certainly, but that's kind of what we do, baby. Sometimes you got to strike while the iron's hot.
I like that idea of the book.
I do too.
Maybe
Great idea.
we're maybe we're onto something. Let's see. Anyways,
Who doesn't love a good coffee table book?
I actually get in trouble with these coffee table books, man.
Oh,
I got
dude.
I got way too many coffee table
I know.
books.
My
whole
wife,
shelf.
we're up on our like 6th coffee table that I've purchased for these books. It's ridiculous.
There's so much coffee. I'm so caffeinated.
So
It's
many
crazy.
tables, so little
It's
time.
crazy. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
I'm
awesome.
excited. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
Dude.
this
And
is great. And everyone
Honored,
here who's
Mike.
in the chat,
Honored.
dude, everyone who's here and in the chat, I see a lot of really familiar names of people who have either bought ornaments or they've participated, and be able to just, you know, support the project, not only from, you know, and for me, when I say this is our project, I mean anyone who has shared a post, let other people know, hey, there's this thing going on, because this is our donation. Like, this is everybody's contribution to be able to doing that, and people who are able to give financially to be able to purchase these are just as important as the artwork that gets put onto it to be able to make it happen. It's all part of the same project. So I'm incredibly grateful for people's charity, for people's compassion, for understanding exactly what Starlight Foundation is doing, but also for everyone who is has kind of found us in this crazy journey since 2020, as we're kind of having some flashbacks of current modern day politics. I'm sitting here going, man, like last time we were voting for someone, I don't want to talk about this on the podcast, but like last time we were voting for someone, I remember it being like, shit was kind of crazy. I didn't even know any of you guys back then. Then we get into
Yeah.
COVID, and all of a sudden I'm meeting all these amazing people online because we're so bored. But then look at what we have done in a small 4 years. Chrome Tono, Ornament Project, Dad Batch Podcast, Thank the Maker Podcast, Mosh Isley, celebrations, multiple countries. I'm like, multiple costumes. Like, it's truly a retrospect that I'm incredibly grateful to look back on, especially with all you bros. And
dude, when's the
especially
next
for-
mosh?
Are
you
we
guys-
in
are you guys
national
doing-
yet?
Are you guys doing Mosh Japan?
Are we in?
Are you going to Japan?
yet? I'm going to
Bro,
Japan.
they're gonna get
Yay,
kicked
yay.
out.
I'm going to Japan. Is everyone going to? Are we all going? Are we all going to Japan?
Yeah, we're all not
Yeah.
John.
Not John.
John has a previous engagement that he is financially obligated to.
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay.
Um,
and that's fine. And that's fine. But
Can we just, yeah, like can I just make one request for Mosh Japan?
Sure.
Just
Sure.
sushi.
I think the issue, honestly, we had talked about Mosh Japan, and I will not say certainly, like, until we're actually there. Actually, I would say once I'm on the plane back from Japan, then you know that no Mosh has happened. But I have committed myself.
Never
to
say never.
Exactly. But currently, right now, our next Mosh that we are stewing around is in the southern states, which is exciting. It's going to be butt up against a con, and then we're going to have
Nice.
another one in the summer that's also in another one of those southern states that
Nice.
butts up with a con. So you know we're making things happen, and then we're considering you know, maybe going to a city we've never been before.
You guys heard it here first. Mosh Isley Japan in Mike's hotel room.
And
I'll bring-
Mosh Isley down south.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
wherever that may be.
anything is. I mean, Luke's in Washington.
Come to
and-
Seattle.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm
not down
in.
south.
And I'm in.
I'd-
you know,
I'd like
Michigan,
to-
so anything
I'd
below
like-
us is down south.
I'd like to lobby for Emerald City Comic Con up by Luke.
Yes.
I
Yes,
have
please.
heard this. I have heard
Mosh
this.
Isley,
Yeah.
Montana.
And Luke and I have the venue already
Yeah, we've
picked
got-
out for that.
Yeah, we've got
Okay.
plans.
Okay. All right. I mean, I'm listening.
Mm.
I am certainly listening.
Let's listen.
But that's going to be a great thing. And then, you know, I think I'm really just, you know, I every time we embark on one of these projects and we get to like see each other and talk more, and just like, you know, everyone gets busy doing stuff. And I know we're all parents, and you know, the school year brings in a whole new level of stress. But I think around this time, you've got November, we start kind of remembering like, oh yeah, cool. Everything's chilling out a little bit. It's getting cold here. Luke and I are ready to start snowboarding again. It like all
Yes.
these things start to feel right again. So we are incredibly I don't know, man. As Paul Singh Lee would say, my cup has overflown with generosity and and just excitement for what's happening. So
My
Can't
man.
wait for this. I can't wait for this. It's got to be bigger. It's got to be, now that we're all combining our forces, we've got to exceed. I'm putting this out there now. I'm throwing
Uh-oh.
down the gauntlet. We've got to
Yes.
exceed. We've got to exceed the Chrome Tono total from last year.
what was the grand total?
20.
I'm scrambling to look it up.
I think it was
Six-
23.5.
26.
It was
Was it-
up there.
No,
Isn't it 26?
I think it was 23.
Damn.
I might
23.
be
Okay.
overshooting.
You've got to hit 25, Mike,
Okay. Well,
and I think you can do that.
you know, I'm feeling.
When our
Pretty-
powers
pretty-
combine,
Pretty good.
Wonder
We
Twins
are
activate.
normally I would say that I would my ornament would bring in the most out of this group, but now that Luke's here, damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
that's gonna
Well,
be
I was
flex.
thinking,
I've been
'Cause-
sitting on a plan for it too since the last one. So
well, the last few I did were very safe. So I feel like
Oh,
the next one I do needs to be kind of out there. Yeah. So
hell yeah.
Yeah. I think
know.
too though, like isn't there something also is something really fantastic about the simplicity of a great paint job, you know? And I think that's
Mhm.
always, you know what I mean? Like I think of like those guitars that we did for Mosh. And I think of like how like, you know, John, I remember you got yours and you're like, I don't know, did I not do enough? And I'm like, dude, a sick, subtle clone paint job, like it was like shelf ready, right? Like mine's
but
like
that, yeah.
mine's Billy Joe Armstrong, the first guitar, right? And then Ramey's got this like crazy Beskar paint job, and Joe's got this awesome camo one. And it's like there's something about the simplicity of being able to do a really killer paint job that like I
Yeah.
still love. And that's why like for me, when you're looking at like, you know, John Flakes, it's like, you know, and obviously shout out to like what a brilliant like, you know, crafter he is. This is cool.
Mhm.
But like I'm also sitting here being like, dude, this is so sick.
So
Beautiful.
clean.
It's so good, you know? And there's
Yeah.
just something about that simplicity. So
It's so hard to do clean and simple.
it's
good
so
like that.
hard to do. It's
Yeah,
so hard.
really
so,
is.
I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's necessarily about putting a kazoo on it. Maybe it's
Damn it! You just gave away my idea.
And that was what I was. Yeah.
How did you come onto that?
how did he was gonna come it plays jizz on the you know what I mean?
Oh, you for sure nailed my idea now.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I know, dude. You got to backpedal. You're like,
Start-
"Dude,
starting
come on,
over.
man. Well,
Starting
come
over
on,
Just
tonight.
stop,
blowing the
dude."
jizz flute.
Old jizz flute. Yeah, you know,
Classic jizz flute
sometimes-
ornament.
You
Damn
know,
it!
and that's what.
Back to the
that's
drawing
what-
board.
How many
know, he-
bithages is it, Mike?
I think it's 7 bithajizen.
That
Oh,
was yeah.
jeez.
Or 6? Is it 6? How many are in the modal notes? Is it
it's
6?
I
It
was
is?
thinking of
Yo.
that
Oh
when
my
the
God.
song we
Well-
had to do for that thing.
Yeah,
No
that's
comment.
nice.
Should we
6.
clarify for the new? There's a new listener in our comments about
No, let him
what that
figure it
random
out.
music
No,
is.
deep cut. Got to go into
Yeah.
the archives for that.
Hold on, where is that guy?
Archives. Dig into the
Yes.
crates to find out what that means.
Shout out
Yes.
to hold on.
Blue Beetle or something like that.
It was like he's like, I don't know how I got here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Someone's
welcome,
watching
welcome, Beetle
Yeah.
B.
Yeah,
That's
right.
it, Beetle B.
So dope.
Oh,
Hell
that's
yeah,
so
Beetle B.
funny.
He's like, Are you
That's
guys a
so
band?
funny.
They're like, Yep.
Could be.
All right, yeah. So John says that Jason Chiodo is gonna have a lightsaber in his ornament. We already know that everyone's gonna like John's is just gonna have the most incredible paint.
Maybe
Luke's gonna have a jizz flute on his.
Yeah, sure. Old
I
clue
don't-
horn. Go ahead and get
Or
go ahead and
two,
make a
or
real
two,
big
if I'm
clue
feeling up
horn,
to it.
baby.
I don't know.
not. Ooh.
I might just hang mine on the mirror of a Tesla and just give that away.
That's cool. That's cool.
Dude.
JK.
That'd be insane. You get the
Thank you
keys.
for
Look at
Yeah.
Joe. Look at Joe over here. Just a wholesome guy donated to his own podcast. What a guy.
the community needs the community. Way to bring people together, my
Ain't that the
dudes.
truth? Ain't that
He's
the
just
truth?
trying to win that jizz
dudes.
flute.
Yeah,
And thanks
he
for the
wants
super
to-
chat earlier, May. Gobble gobble. So yeah, we got Thanksgiving coming up And that's right about the time that we are going to be showing these off, or no, the deadline for these.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, make sure you put your interest in right away for these ornaments. I can't wait. This is good stuff.
It's gonna be awesome. Thanks for having me on, bros.
Dude.
Appreciate you as always. And yeah, I think this is it's a great way to kick off the holiday season. I think as and I don't know how you guys feel too. I think I've gotten to that age where I just like appreciate a damn good pair of socks. You know what I mean? I'm like, I
Yep.
don't
Can't go wrong.
need, you know what I mean? I'm like, some stuff I just don't need anymore. I'm like running out of space now. Coffee table book, I'm listening. But when it comes to going, the projects that I really get geeked on end up being the most satisfying projects, which are these charity projects, and anything that we can do to get people to remind ourselves, whatever the reason is you choose to believe around the holidays, it's always been better supporting each other, supporting people who need it. And I think all of us can empathize as dads. Anytime anything happens to one of our kids, your world stops, right? And so I think looking at the importance of what Starlight does in all seriousness is that, we're hopefully going to be able to support some families and some operations of people who are going through the toughest stuff that they're going through,
Yeah.
right? And so as much as we have fun geeking out over paint jobs and trying to one up each other, I am still so humbled at the passion of us all watching a movie when we were kids led to this. And like, that's the power of the Force right there. Like, that's what I believe 100% of doing this with so many people, and also just finding each other and finding this community that continues to give and donate its talents and time. It's awesome. So that's kind of my sign off, and a thank you for everyone who supported the Ornament Project in the past, supported Chrome Tono, supporting the 501st Telethon. We are so grateful for people who have supported any of these projects, because it's the best way for us to participate. I truly feel, right?
So commendable, dude. Thanks for having us be part of this. This is great.
Oh yeah. May the Force be with us.
Always.
My man.
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
Okay, a little bit of sad news to start off with. Artist Greg Hildebrand, the iconic artist who created the poster that we're looking at here, passed away this week at the age of 85. So his son, Greg Hildebrand Jr., revealed in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter that his father had been struggling with his heart condition medication for the past 5 months, ultimately succumbing to the side effects of the medication. Other works of Hildebrand include calendars that he had done for Lord of the Rings and Dungeons and Dragons, the poster for 1981's Clash of the Titans, and album covers for bands including Black Sabbath and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And in fact, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is soon going to be publishing Hildebrand's last created piece of artwork as part of their upcoming tour. So keep an eye out for that if you're a fan of his art. I know that, this art, and I don't know if it was specifically himself or if it was just his art that inspired other pieces, but I know that artwork has found its way into Star Wars in other ways. Steven, I know that they recently did, Funko did a set of Funko Pops for that were based off of this artwork. Like, you could get Vader, stormtroopers, I think some other characters as well that kind of had that aesthetic, that blue line artwork, and
Cell
so on.
shading.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cell shading. So, and I know that the pinball machines that One Up Arcade has been doing, and the arcade cabinet that I've got one too. Those are they feature the artwork that is that same aesthetic.
Mm.
So that artwork, it really has become part of the Star Wars visual language. So he really did leave his fingerprint on the Star Wars world. So
Yeah, I'm gonna miss that dude. He made some of my most favorite trading cards in the 90s.
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He did a
Specifically,
bunch of Marvel cards.
he did the Marvel Masterpieces line for Upper Deck or Tops. I can't remember.
Upper
I
Deck.
think
But,
it was
um,
Upper Deck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that set, if you can find it nowadays, it's like $10,000 for the set. It's
Wow.
because every single card is literally a piece of art that it's like an oil painting that he did. So it's like
Yes.
it's so limited. Yeah.
Man.
Dude. I remember
So-
those vividly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So next up, and I don't have a lot on this, but I know that this weekend, November 8th, 9th, and 10th at Disney's D23 in Brazil, the attendees are rumored to be getting a sneak peek at new completed footage from both Andor Season 2 and The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Whoa.
So obviously the event hasn't happened yet. I don't have much else to go on that to report for now, but I will be keeping my eye on the socials and my ear to the ground with my sources for any leaks, and I'll report back next week.
Damn.
What were you going to say, John?
I was gonna ask you when was that con?
It's this weekend. It's Disney's
Gotcha.
D23. They do one down in Brazil,
Gotcha.
and so it's the 8th, 9th, and 10th. So it's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Cool. A little late for me to head down. Yeah.
Yeah, hop a plane, dude. Come on. What is this?
We
what are you
should
even
do
doing?
that though. We got to do
That'd
an
be cool.
international one.
All right,
Yeah.
you've got to be our guide though, because
If we did Sao Paulo Comic Con, we could pull it off for sure.
okay.
Think about it.
I have
Yeah.
my,
So
I have my traveler's card now, my global
Ooh.
entry.
Your global entry?
Real ID.
Nice.
Ooh.
nice.
Get that passport updated too.
Yeah, I got my passports ready to go.
Boom.
Yep.
Boom.
Same.
Oh, and sorry, correction. We already did an international one. I'm just saying another international one
Mhm.
somewhere else.
And another one.
I'm down for doing Central or South America. Let's go.
South.
All right, make it happen. You're in charge of planning that one out, John. Go. Figure it out, and we'll figure it out, and the rest of us will show up.
There you go. I'll give you my.
This is
I'll
how it
give you
happens. This is how it
Give me my
starts, people.
Visual.
Give me your credit card. We're gonna figure this out. Come on.
Yeah, right. Okay, and last but not least, we got ourselves a new trailer for Skeleton Crew. So that being said, Stevie, shall we
Oh.
do what we do?
What are you in for?
This song.
Okay, pause
Already
it.
this trailer.
Pause it. Can I just
We should
say,
just. Oh.
whoever, I want to find the person who picked this song and just give him a hug, because like it was the most epic. Like they
It fits.
like it's so
So
good. It's
tight.
so good.
So well.
Literally, like I was looking forward to this. I am looking forward to it more now because
Yeah.
of the song choice.
They're
I just
leaning
love
into
it.
the
I'm
vibe.
I just
hoping they
love it.
kept it.
And it's in Huttese. Okay, so if you go out to YouTube and watch this, like it's not the subtitles are in Huttese too. Like you get to see
Wow.
the lyrics in the Huttese language. So
Whoa.
like if you want to know what they're saying, like because it's kind of hard to like hear it, like you can see the Huttese lyrics in Huttese in the subtitles. So you may
Wow.
proceed. Sorry, I'm excited about the song.
Yeah, it's good.
And we're gonna have to like talk over this so we don't get yanked.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I was just gonna
just the thing.
say.
So we're gonna-
She's like Grand Theft Auto essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're both in trouble. He's like dirty already, so I'm assuming that what we see in a few seconds here had already maybe happened at this point.
Yeah.
So like they're kind of jumping around a little bit. So
They're,
That's kinda
both
weird,
in
though, 'cause-
attention here.
he got in trouble for that. But
yeah, so like he'd already fallen and like found something. So maybe he found it, and now he tells her, like, and then she's like, "Oh, like okay, well maybe we should go back later." So they like
We'll go
go
find
back
it.
Yeah.
and find it. Like she's.
Did you guys
interested.
see that droid in the background?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm waiting
Everyone,
for the droid.
ooh,
Yeah.
is that a
What the
Tesla bot?
heck? A what? A
Well,
what?
Tesla
Tesla
bot.
bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Luke, look at the chest armor. It looks like a short trooper.
It does.
Chest
It
plate.
does have a
And this
short,
is-
it does
See
have
that?
a short trooper chest plate. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
And
that's
this
crazy.
timeline is same as Mando and Ahsoka.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So it's post Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Those are those patches that I love.
Oh, those are
man.
good
Yeah.
matches.
And
Oh.
and go ahead.
The director, I just read something today that the director, John Watts, confirmed that this character right here,
Neil.
do we know the character's name?
Neil.
Neil?
Neel, I think. Yeah, Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Because later when they're like, oh, let Neil, and then the one kid's like,
Not
Neil,
Ned.
Neil.
Oh, yeah. Neil is not the same species as Max Rebo.
Oh, what?
Mhm.
That's okay, but looks very
That makes
similar.
sense then.
Yeah.
Glad we got corrected before we said more dumb stuff.
So apparently, like what they find buried out there is a ship. It's the ship.
Oh
And then-
man.
Somehow it gets
And
like
they take
uncovered or
off.
whatever.
Oh, was that the
they go-
teacher?
Was that an
They-
is it an E-wing?
That's her dad.
No, it's
Oh,
it
oh,
looks it looks like a
It's
U-wing,
the Boy
right?
Scout.
Like, but it's not. It's something else. Because like the Lego set for this ship has already been revealed. Like we've seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's some other thing that we've never seen before.
I need that
Dude.
visor. I want that visor so bad.
Yeah,
I want to
that
wear
visor
it.
is sick.
Wouldn't it be
Mhm.
funny if we all did these characters but as ourselves? But like, you know,
That
like
would be
big
tight.
versions
Like adult
Yeah.
versions of the kids or something.
of little kids, yeah.
That's dope. I like that.
Is
idea.
is Brian the Jedi?
Stevie, you figured Neil smells like vanilla? Like or
Mm,
no, that's that
that's,
wasn't Max Rebo. That's
Droopy. That's Droopy.
Droopy McCool, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I have
don't
a
wanna
good
be
feeling
Neil.
about this.
Our listeners are wondering what we're talking about now with that
The
one.
font.
Oh,
is
was that
really
Urkel?
cool.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Urkel's in it.
Yeah.
He's one of the pirates,
Urkel's
right?
in
Jaleel
this?
White.
Yeah, Jaleel
Dude.
White.
Didn't
one of the
I?
pirates.
Oh,
He's like-
oh,
He's like a mod.
oh. So I can't say anything.
That is a
No, you
cool
can't.
still.
No, you
No,
can't.
say it.
You
Not
cannot.
yet.
I w-
I
you know
can't.
this girl with the white hair
Dude,
and the
she
white
was
Yeah.
she was
Her braid.
awesome.
Yeah, she looks cool.
She is.
And is
she
that is that a
super
rebel
cool.
trooper behind them?
That looks like a
Yeah.
rebel fleet
Yes.
trooper helmet.
It is. Yeah,
Totally
they're
is.
getting carjacked essentially.
Dude.
Oh, look at that helmet.
Yeah.
It's like totally World War II.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just a World War II helmet.
Jeez.
The bot doing bot
I
things.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that droid a lot.
That dude again.
It looks like it's maybe just like a slight, like a B version of K2SO, like just like a
Yeah.
slightly like one off
It's
Like
n-
next-
it's
next year's model or something.
Oh, what was
it's-
that?
it's not.
X-wings. I'm
Is that
down
an
for
X-wing?
that.
Who was
Yeah.
that too? That guy looked super
Oh, the X-wing.
Is that their mom? Is that the mom?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, go back. Go back.
cool. What was that face?
Yeah, that face.
Oh, jeez.
The
I don't know
face.
where I was.
Every time I see that face, I think it looks like the CX whoever that everybody thought was Tech.
Oh no, I thought it was the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
That?
Whoa.
Doesn't it look like?
that's
Doesn't it look like the
that's
mask on-
Wakanda.
No,
That's
I'm
Wakanda
expecting
Forever.
Indiana Jones to like drop from the ceiling right now.
No,
No, it's
no,
like,
dude.
it's like the Temple of CX2 or whatever it was.
What's his name's gonna come down? Dang it. Don't remember.
I don't know.
Forget it. Forget it.
It's a
It
good
doesn't look
shot
like
of the
we're
crew.
doing a good job. We haven't been yanked yet, so good job, guys.
Yeah, keep
I
talking.
love the font also. The font. for
Yeah.
Darth Vader is
Have you
really
figured
cool.
out what it is yet, Luke? I haven't-
No, I haven't spent really any time diving yet, but I want to unlock that.
good one.
That's-
yeah, same.
Dude, are there people that make the
I gotta
like?
go on Reddit. Look
Is
for
that a job to make a font?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
big
yeah.
money, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because that's custom.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not one you pick off the
Yeah.
internet.
Get a font.
I could
guy
do that.
or gal.
Yet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's full on like I mean, there I've got the Adobe font thing, and it's just like you could spend
Endless.
a lifetime going through that thing.
Yeah,
You guys think we'll see Hondo Onaka in here?
Hope so.
that'd be a good.
'Cause it's all pirates, right?
surprise. Yeah,
And
It's
and
all
you know what?
pirates, and
He's-
they go to like the pirate. It looked like they were like in a pirate bar.
yeah. There'd be
And
no
in
better place to
Mando,
drop him in.
You know he's alive.
But they're all wearing a similar color as even the pirates in Mando, which are essentially the same pirates that are in this show. They're sort of wearing what Hondo wears, right? Like sort of red detailed. They're all wearing their own thing, but there's always like a red element, which I don't know.
Nate's saying,
Oh, it looks like a Weequay on the wall, and it might be
Yeah.
Hondo's treasure. Yeah.
"Oh snap!"
Oh
That's
my goodness.
Very
Oh,
interesting.
maybe that's the story. They're going after Hondo's treasure.
That
Nate's
would be
taking us to
so
school.
cool.
There
Wow.
it is.
I still like Jason's original theory that they're gonna be hunting for
The saber.
Luke's saber, yeah, the hand or
Mm,
whatever.
that
it
is
was.
so
Story
cool.
for another time.
Yeah. I do like that. Whether this is it or not, I do hope we get that story.
So what if
sometime. I think
Hondo
that's
has
further
it
out.
for some reason? And
Yeah,
then,
it's in his treasure chest or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, was that the
Maybe.
box? Was the box there? I didn't see that, bro.
Mhm.
oh, that's right,
That's
Maz.
Yeah, Maz fits. Yeah.
into the pirate, the whole pirate thing.
Pretty much.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh. All of that. I'll take it out.
Anywho, I'm excited. I like what I see.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Looks fun. Looks fun.
Looks
Yeah.
like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Getting
I'm gonna make
excited
Amy
for it
watch
for
it.
sure.
We and at Christmas time, perfect. Perfect.
I'm a little bummed.
Timing.
I'm a little bummed that it's not a movie, that it's a series. I'm not
Well,
complaining. I'm not
then-
complaining that we're getting like
Let-
6 episodes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, then just binge it, dude. Wait till Christmas Day and binge it.
and we need to support it because maybe they'll make a movie after if it's.
Yeah.
It's
I kind of
good.
miss the feeling of like the movie event of the holidays and going to the theater and spending a stupid amount of money on popcorn and that whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a good feeling. That's a fun time at the theater in the
Fun one.
holidays.
Was that it for the news, Raimi?
That is it for the news.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, gentlemen, who is working on what?
All right. Well, I made I shared 2 weeks in a row vague details of something I was working on that I didn't even tell you guys. So this is what it is here. If you can see it on the screen.
Ooh, wow. That is a giant helmet.
The size of the
Huge.
noggin.
Yeah, well, I can't put it on with the headphones, but it is pretty big. But it's it's 1-to-1 scale with what it's supposed to be.
Damn.
Is that a
And
robot?
yeah.
Is that a robot?
It's not a robot. It's a helmet that someone wears.
What
That a
character
person
is
wears.
that?
This is a Mark 10 Space Marine helmet.
Is that
So
Warhammer?
Warhammer.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
made it for myself. Gonna try to get some lenses in there and see if I can make it look real nice. But yeah, there it is. There's the helmet.
Super
Are you gonna
clean.
build the whole? Are you gonna do the whole costume?
No, because then I'd need like stilts and crazy. Like I'd probably have to do foam armor or something.
It's it
No.
looks super clean.
Yeah, it came out cool. I'm really happy with it. Very happy. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's like Helldivers. That's so yesterday. It's all about this one.
Yeah. No, I mean Helldivers is still cool, but this is like something else. This is like Helldivers 40,000 years from then. Like it's like the future of
Is that-
Helldivers.
So
Is this in the future compared to Helldivers?
So
or
people
whatever?
there's a theory
I don't-
that says that Helldivers is like a prequel to 40K to
Okay.
Warhammer. But it's just I think it's a gamer thing. I don't think it has holds any weight.
It's like
but it's kind
everybody-
of cool.
Everybody always wanting to connect everything.
Well, I
right.
mean, there's this like screen when you play. There's like a screen and it's like this circular thing, and both of the games sort of have like one is like more old fashioned and one is more high tech because of the difference in time, but it's very similar. But yeah, I don't know, but that's how I see it. I guess it's why not?
So cool.
Yeah, pretty neat.
Excited to see what kind of paint job you come up with that for. Do you
Yeah,
know what you're leaning toward, or?
I think I'm gonna do a Blood Angel, which is like
Nice.
the red dudes.
Crimson
But
red.
well, the red would be like the regular guy. So I don't know if I want to do a specific color depending on the role, or just do the red helmet and
Yeah.
let it be obvious. I don't know. We'll see.
Sick.
Yeah. And I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but I didn't post it anywhere. When I went to pick this up from my buddy Jeff, he he was like, I have a couple extra molds that I am not gonna be using because I have. Basically, he was telling me I tried to sell them, no one wanted to buy them, and I need to make space. Whatever. He's like, you can take whatever you want. So I grabbed a couple extra molds from him, and I'll be making some cool helmets in the next couple weeks probably. And trying to we'll see.
Gotta make that Christmas money.
Yeah.
I like that, dude.
So we'll
That's
see.
cool.
So yeah, so that's it.
Cool. Okay. I've been on an Iron Man kick lately. I've been jumping around on projects a lot lately. So one thing that I was working on, and I can't
Wait.
show it because it's actually at John's house. So
Oh.
what?
I thought you were on a Tron kick.
I was, and I don't have anything to show for that. Like I've got the I think I showed the disc, right? Like you guys saw the disc, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I have that. Oh, I got something that's going to go into the jacket that is the LED strip. It's completely continuous light. Like it's LED strip, but there's no, like, you cannot see the individual LEDs at all.
Oh,
Like
sick.
it is super high density LEDs. In fact, give me a second after I show you this other thing that I got, and I'll get it set up, and we can like jump around or something. So you know me, I'm like not happy unless I've got like 18 things going on at the same time. So I printed and made this thing.
That is an Iron Man arc reactor.
Tony Stark's heart.
The Mark I arc reactor. And
That's
I had
rad.
I had like the actual, like the correct little cable harness thing here. So this is just the battery pack, but I got some clear resin and printed the pieces that needed to be clear in clear resin. So it came out pretty good. I'm happy. And I actually got like
awesome.
copper wire and wound it with like actual copper wire in the places that need to be copper. So
That looks so good.
yeah,
Kill
and
it,
then I resin printed on the Jupiter the Mark I helmet, like the one that he makes in the cave.
Wait, are you building an Iron Man now?
And that I had seen it. I had seen it in a restaurant. Like I was at a restaurant for a work thing, and they had a pop culture kind of decor thing going on. Like they had Iron Man's shield and whatever up on the wall, and they had a Mark I helmet on the wall. And I'm like, that thing's pretty cool. And I messaged John. I'm like, who has a good model for Mark I? We didn't know. I looked around. I found one. So I printed it, and it came out super clean. So it's sitting. I've got it prepped and ready. It's sitting at Chrome and Go over at John's house, ready to get chromed. So as soon as I get it back, we'll do a review of that, and we'll show it off. So, and then we'll talk about the rest of the suit at some point. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, man.
We'll see. That's actually one version of Iron Man. Like I talked about doing, the Ironmonger before, because like I've got like the bald head and the beard, like I could pull that off. But like then I'm talking about like stilts and all that stuff. But like the Mark I suit, I could
more doable.
I could pull that one off. That's not
that
bad.
also has a flamethrower.
It does have a flamethrower. It does have a flamethrower. We're on a kick with that. So
It has two. It has two.
Yeah. Oh.
Does
Yeah,
it?
double whammy.
I guess you're right. It does, doesn't it? Okay.
Oh, dude.
Okay. right, we'll put a pin in that. That's it.
Well, I haven't done too much this past week. I got kind of busy with work and came off of Halloween. Finished up my son's costume, his Mega Man villain costume.
Nailed it.
Put the final touches on it. He looked great. That was, oh yeah, there we go. A little drop in the slide there for the video folks. 3D printed the helmet. In the middle chest boomerang is resin printed. The rest of it was all EVA foam, like 1/4-inch EVA foam. And it was a lot of fun to do a foam project again. I haven't done one for quite some time. And that was definitely like my first foray into costuming in general.
The
And now-
pose is epic.
Dude, the pose, so good. And just the fact that you can get rolls of foam at most craft places now that are labeled as like a cosplay foam is such a leap forward from, I know when we all kind of started messing around with costume stuff, it's such a great time to be a costumer and cosplayer and stuff, to have those materials pretty readily available like that.
Have you seen the Yaya Han
Mhm.
line?
I think that's what my roll of foam was.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good stuff, dude. And it
It's-
comes in
it's
like
great
all
stuff.
the various thicknesses and
Oh, I went in there and I picked out the thickness of the roll that I wanted and went
Wow.
off with it. So
nice.
heat sealed it, and then it just paints up so great. I mean, that is the fun thing about foam, is it's so, I don't want to say easy to work with, but it's generally pretty user friendly.
It's forgiving, yeah.
Yeah, and you have so much of it generally, and it's inexpensive enough that if you make your mistakes, it's kind of easy to jump back in where you left off and start anew. So yeah, that was fun to kind of tool around with that, with the material I haven't used in a while. The only other thing that I've been doing kind of in the evenings last couple of nights is trimming my TK armor. I'm working on a shiny TK very slowly.
Oh,
I bought a kit sometime last year, the year before, and I just had it in a box and pulled it out the other night and started trimming. So I want to be a shiny TK. I want to add it to the
there you go,
list.
man. Yeah, man.
You can never have too many shiny TKs. So that's it. That's it for me. Really
How do you after all this time not have a TK, dude?
dude.
really?
A long time ago, I had a Sand Trooper. I started
Okay.
with TK, and then
Okay.
I didn't feel confident enough in my build skills at that point, so I definitely hid some mistakes with sand and grime and oil marks and stuff like that. So I passed muster to get approved with the TD, but
Got it.
that
must-
and I like the backpack. Like I
Hey.
was in on a backpack kit run, and I liked all the accessories, but
Yeah.
shiny TK,
I turned my first TK into my Sandy and then built
Nice.
another one. Yeah.
yeah.
Same
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but there's something to be said. I mean, back to what we were saying earlier about, clean and simple. It just looks so good with a shiny TK. So I want to make another attempt.
TKs are fun.
Yeah.
Right on, dude.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
So I was working on my studio a little bit. Oh, I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can adjust the camera here. So no, it's not gonna work. Anyway, so I was working on my studio a little bit, and I put up some of my graded comic books up on the wall because I figured like these are beautiful covers, and
Yeah.
most of them have autographs or signatures, and I got to figure out a way to put it on the wall. So I went online, and the company that grades the comics sells a wall mount kit, and it's like you can put 4 comics to one of their brackets, and the bracket they sell is like $50.
Mm.
And it's like, yeah, right? So
Yeah,
then I was like looking around online, and there's like 3D models that people have made of quote unquote wall mounts, and just none of the designs were up to par, not to my satisfaction. And then I did find a wall mount kit for graded comics on Amazon, but it was like 2 pieces for like $20. So you're putting up essentially one comic for $20. That's more
Hmm.
expensive than the
Yeah.
thing. So what I did was I 3D modeled it, and I basically stole their design. And it took me like just a few minutes to model, and they're all varying thicknesses to match the thicknesses of the comic, the graded comic.
Dude, that's great.
And then so it just kind of so then what I do is on the back I just put a command strip. And the command strip is more than enough to hold the comic book, but I also did put I molded in like a Raimi, what's that called?
Recess.
It's a recessed screw hole.
Chamfered.
Countersunk.
Countersunk. Thank you. I put a countersink in there just in case, and it just holds it like that. And then a
Can I
second
get
one.
2 of those?
Oh, dude, yeah, I'll just send you the file. And then there's a second one that goes on top to prevent it from like falling forward.
Yeah.
Good call.
But yeah, so I printed like 2 dozen of these, and I just have them laying around. So when I want to put up a comic, I can just put it up.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
So
Necessity is the mother of invention.
yeah, I'll take a photo of the comics. I'll post it in the Pablo Life
Yeah,
channel.
let's see it.
But that is
That's
it
fun.
for me. I think that's everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm touching myself tonight.
Yes.
More Deadpool news. So we probably saw the Blu-ray come out this week. Yay! So there is a lot of fun stuff on the Blu-ray. I just wanted to highlight for anybody that hasn't heard about the release of it. So came out on digital and Blu-ray. The Blu-ray specifically has a ton of extra features. There's gag reels, commentary tracks, a few deleted scenes. I think there's like 5 or 6 deleted scenes, which is pretty exciting. And then there are a couple of special features. And one of the special features they did, which I have not seen yet, so I can't confirm or deny how funny it is a Dr. Deadpool skit where he informs the audience about the very real world risks of testicular cancer and tries to convince Hugh Jackman to do a live checkup as
What?
Deadpool. Yes.
This is on the Blu-ray?
This is on the Blu-ray.
I'll check that out after tonight, and we'll
Yeah, you
confirm
have
it later.
to give us a watch. So
I never realized. Yeah. I'm
yeah,
gonna check it
yeah.
out.
Dr. Deadpool PhD is one of the featurettes on the Blu-ray.
Oh, man, I bought
Now,
the
So Brian
digital.
was.
I'm
he was-
curious if you get digital, is that something that you don't get, or do you get like special
No.
things like that with?
I think it said it was on
Oh.
the Blu-ray.
This is Blu-ray and digital, but yeah, if you just get the digital on like Amazon, which Brian got, he probably
Yeah.
doesn't have those special features.
Yeah, I
Ah,
think
there you
I
go.
think some of these featurettes are just on the Blu-ray.
Oh yeah, it says right here, Blu-ray bonus features. Bonus varies by format. Okay. Gag reel, deleted scenes, Wolverine, Finding Madonna, blah 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 blah. blah. Yep, bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff, bunch of fun stuff, and yeah, there's like little makings of feature about the soundtrack, stuff like that. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of really fun stuff to dig into there.
I gotta
And-
check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll produce some pretty wild memes after people get a hold of it. And this is a couple weeks old, but something to definitely point out. During NYCC, New York Comic Con, they had a Daredevil Born Again panel, and Vince D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox did a panel, and they confirmed the release date of Daredevil Born Again, which is March 4th, 2025. So it is right around the corner. I believe the trailer was shown at NYCC2 or somewhere recently. There is a leak of it online from like an audience theater seat, but I don't know if that was shown there and when that's going to be released. But can confirm, does look super bonkers and looks very faithful to the Netflix original series. Which
it's essentially it just looks like Daredevil season 4 at this
Yeah.
point, right?
yeah, totally. Which I think is what everybody was hoping for.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
super excited
totally.
for that to have an official release date, and probably soon trailer coming soon. This flew under my radar too. Kind of after like the hullabaloo of everything from NYCC, and just getting to hear adventures from everybody, as well as Halloween just kind of being over top of this too. But Lego and Marvel released a new Avengers cartoon called Avengers Mission Demolition. And it's got this really funny storyline that follows the Damage Control Company, which is a company within the Marvel Universe that follows the mishaps and misadventures of heroes and villains. Whenever there's a big accident, they're the cleanup crew that's hired to do so. And we actually saw them in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, the DODC.
Yeah. So that was who Michael Keaton interacted with and like lost his job with at the beginning of that movie. So really fun tie-in. And then it focuses around this one worker guy named Dennis, who ends up becoming a very deep cuts, long running Captain America sidekick, kind of weirdo D-list character called D-Man, and kind of fumbles his way through the Marvel universe. So deep cut characters, lots of little Easter eggs, and there's the X-Men and Moon Knight and T'Challa and all these great characters
Dude,
in it.
those
So it's
Lego movies, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, whatever, they're so good.
so fun.
They're
Yeah,
so well written.
Yeah, they do a great job with them. Happy to have more of those for sure. Some Star Wars Marvel news to continue with the theme from last week, sprinkling a little Star Wars action. So there is a series, the number 4 comes out this week on Marvel Unlimited and good old print. Go to your comic shop and grab it. Is Star Wars Battle of Jakku, and it is a kind of a running time frame. Again, kind of in that conversation we had last week about what the extra media does in like a property like Star Wars, where it's filling in around story that we've all speculated on or wanted to see in some form. So this takes place after Endor. The Empire has kind of been shattered. They're starting to form the pieces of the New Republic. And there's, new threats that are showing up. One in the form of like a new Inquisitor, which is really cool and mysterious. And you've got Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, Mon Mothma, Bib Fortuna, Zuckuss. There's some like really dope characters that are sprinkled throughout this, as well as some that have ties to the sequel trilogy, which is really neat. So not only the mention of Jakku from the sequel trilogy as well. So there's some really neat tie-in to both timelines from the Star Wars timeline, or both eras from the Star Wars timeline, as it were. So yeah, number 4 of this. Oh, go ahead.
No debates, just a quick number from each of us. Likelihood percentage wise of seeing Han, Luke, and Leia again in live action.
All specifically all 3 of them, or
together? Yeah.
0.
Ooh.
Luke, go.
Oh, geez.
Just percentage.
20%.
20. John.
0.
Raimi.
It will happen at some point. 100% it will happen eventually at some point.
Dang.
Live action?
Yeah.
Uh,
They'll look,
I
we're
guess
seeing
they
a
Leia
young Luke and
posthumously.
Mando.
Yeah, and they did Leia
They're gonna-
posthumously, right, in Rogue One. Wasn't she had already
No,
passed?
she was in.
Oh, no, that's right,
Rise
she
of
was
She was
Skywalker.
alive, but yeah,
Okay.
we saw young Leia in Rogue One. We've seen Luke and
Oh,
Mando.
Rogue One.
They're gonna do this. we will see something. It's not going to be necessarily some huge major like theatrical thing. Like we're not going to see the adventure of Han, Luke, and Leia, but we will get some little nugget of thing that will keep the fans happy. They'll be off in the distance or something, and we'll see the three of them together. Yes, eventually.
Cool. You heard it here first, guys. 100% confirmed by Raimi.
No, stop.
Moving on. Back to you, Luke.
No, that's it. So this ends. This culminates with issue 4 that's out this week, and then it drops into another 2-part miniseries, or I'm sorry, 2 separate miniseries coming out in November. Star Wars Republic Under Siege and Star Wars Republic Last Stand, which are going to tie up the threads from this Battle of Jakku miniseries. So
Sick.
lots of new fun Star Wars on the horizon. Not to mention the Darth Vader series that continuously runs, as well as the regular inline Star Wars series, which runs. So some good content on the comic side for Star Wars coming up. Then this was a really fun one that popped up on the radar. I think John sent this in the text thread. This is debuting in January, and is a Ultimate Wolverine series. So the Ultimate series, the Ultimate line for Marvel was reinterpretations of existing characters and storylines and timelines, and kind of plays with those a little bit. Not so much to the singular like what if scale, but it does play it as more of a kind of alternate timeline, essentially. So this one is Wolverine as if he was reimagined as a mind-wiped assassin that's discovered to be working, kind of in the vein of Winter Soldier. Is what's so far been revealed. So you've got the mask, the image for the YouTubers are cut off here, but his uniform kind of works this gigantic red star into the template of his costume. And he's got that Brudentude naturally. So I think this is going to be a pretty fun one to watch and read.
Yeah.
Is it Logan? Is it Logan?
I don't think we know yet. I don't think that was said.
It is because they showed him with his mask off too.
Oh,
it's him.
okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
They showed mask off, cowl off, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So he's essentially Winter Soldier Wolverine.
It's a Winter Soldier Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
So he's
going to be fun.
Controllable, but out of control, I guess.
Yep.
Ish.
I like it.
Yeah.
So January. We'll see this in January.
Sick.
Yeah. And that is all I got for the Marvel Minute, boys. Short and sweet.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
It was a long up today, guys, but I'm very, very excited for. I was going to say Chrome Tono. I'm very excited for the Ornament Project 2024. Oh man, I'm not excited for Luke kicking my butt. All of our butts.
No,
No, dude, we got to step it up.
But yeah, I'm gonna step it up. Like I said, those creative juices marinating.
Get him in that smoker, marinating with your
flowing.
18-hour brisket, just
sous
vide.
Chrome glizzy.
Just
Chrome glizzies.
You never know.
And you get a Chrome glizzy. And you get a Chrome glizzy.
Everyone gets a Chrome glizzy.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed listening, feed that algorithm and leave us a 5-star review on your podcast app. Be sure to include that cake emoji in the review. You can follow me at stevie.kicks on Instagram, sometimes on X. Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they can find you, John.
Alpha Ignition on the socials.
And Raimi.
TheDadBatch.com.
And Luke.
At Left Coast Avenger.
Nice. And remember, guys, you can find Mike Hondo Supply Forrester at Hondo Supply on the socials. Joe and Brian, we'll see you when we see you. Thank you again, everybody, for listening to episode 113 of the Dad Batch podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for episode 114. And until next time, Enjoy your spice responsibly.
Spicy.
Oh, I know that cover.
That's sick.
A good issue. Tex.
Mamie has a hug.